Hello everyone, welcome to a Queer Nationalist News Report, Why Democracy is Bad. So what we have right here is an article by the New York Times, Transgender could be defined out of existence under the Trump administration. So the issue that we have here is that Donald Trump, one man, has authority over this thing called the executive branch of government. So originally when the executive branch of government was created, the federal government made very few laws. But what essentially happened here is that over time, the federal government accrued more and more laws, and therefore the president, in his power to kind of oversee how these laws are enforced, became more and more important. More and more power essentially has been accruing to the president, and he has essentially the power to decide how laws are enforced. That's the point of the executive branch of government. And so what we have here is that Donald Trump is the decider of, well, should these transgender people get equal access to this government service, or should transgender people be able to get these documents over here, or interact with this agency, or in their accordance with their birth gender. And so what I will say about this is that the issue I have is that Donald Trump is able to make a decision about how the laws are enforced. He could say, this person has a privilege, that person has a privilege, this person has the rights, this person doesn't have the rights, just by what his opinion of how the law should be enforced. He technically has that power. And should one man have the right to determine, does this group of people have rights? Does this group of people not have rights? I think many people can agree that one man shouldn't have the power to determine if one group of people should have rights and if another group of people should have rights. But what if the Senate voted to take away your rights? How about the House of Representatives? How about the Supreme Court said it's perfectly fine to take away those rights that you cherish? Weren't bothering anybody, weren't hurting anybody. They said, you know what, we just don't like you. We don't like those rights. We don't think you should have them. And we're legitimate because we're the government. And what if the vast majority of people all came out in a big referendum and they said, we, the majority, will say these group of people should not have these rights? Does that also make them correct? Well, think about this. Should everything be up for the matter of a political discussion? Isn't it wrong that one group of people technically has the authority, the power, and the moral and juridical right to take away other people's rights just by the act that they're the majority, or they have won a sufficient number of elections? They are now empowered to say, we want to take away these rights. We want to give this group over here privileges. We want to deny these group a privilege. But what grounds can we justify this? These people are not doing anything wrong. These people are not bothering anybody else. But at the same time, we are told that democracy is good, democracy is freedom, Democracy sounds awesome, we hear democratic socialism. That, hey, we're going to have real democracy over and real control over things. You're going to have control over your workplace. You're going to have more control over the economy. But what authority do you have to control other people, It's like, hey, my gender, my sexuality, all these things they're not up for political discussion, but my employment, my money, my property, these things are also not up for political discussion. At what grounds can one group of people appear and say, we know that, this is yours and you were given this, you didn't do anything particularly wrong, but we just want it for ourselves. We think that we should have power over you. We don't think you should have rights. We don't think you deserve this, because we want it. These are all things that democracy gives us. And I offer you a alternative. The alternative is rights and freedom. The alternative is it's not a matter of political discussion. Who gets these rights? Who gets these privileges? We just have rights. We don't have privileges. We don't have one group taking for themselves and hurting another group. We don't have that. What we have is we have the idea that you are free. You are an individual. And what this means for you is that nobody can come and take away your freedoms, your rights, as long as you're not harming or hurting, as long as you're not hurting anybody or harming anybody, you are free to do what you like. And, regardless of what anybody says, like, oh, you shouldn't keep your money because that's wrong, or you shouldn't keep your property, that's wrong, or you shouldn't have this sexual orientation, or you shouldn't be with this person, or you don't have a right to this medical procedure or this medical treatment or anything like that. No, people need to leave each other alone. Because imagine a world, and this is truly what people think the world is, as people see it now, that everything is up for political discussion. Everything. Like any day now. We talk about how these divisions we have, like, separations of powers and the constitutions, but all those things are just a veil, One day somebody will pull it back and they will reveal the fact that all these beliefs about rights that we had and freedoms and protections, they're all just a farce, because if some group of people wants to enough and they're given the authority and they're allowed to, they will push and they will change how things are, and force, they will expand power for themselves just to take from other people. It's a possibility until one day when we as a society can abolish the concept of democracy, till we can say, hey, democracy is wrong. You do not have right to say, I am just as involved in your personal decision making. I voted, I'm part of this majority. We are empowered to control how you make decisions. Nothing is personal. Nothing is a matter of just your decision. Everything is a matter of, well, what do I want? Well, I don't want you to do that. Why won't you do this? That's true barbarism. And I call on you to end democracy. Today is a day of barbarism, a day of people saying, I want to take away these rights, I want to give you back these rights, I want to give you these privileges, I want to deny these people privileges. That's all really today is about. It's just plain barbarism. So hopefully we can end this soon and live in a society where people are free of the tyranny of the democratic order, free from the political. Okay, thank you for watching.